Will onions make you fat? If you play basketball, will you lose all your muscle? And what workouts should you do for some core strength? Those are the questions I'm going to answer in today's Ask a Male Fit Show. Hey, I'm Matt from Mount Fitness. I appreciate you being here. It means so friggin' much. I will not waste your time. I'm a personal trainer, registered nurse, and a behavioral change specialist. I love this stuff. I've been doing it for about 14 years, and I hope you'll drop your questions down below. I'd love to answer them. The more specific you are, the better. Let's get into them. First one's about core strength. Core strength equals 0. This is from a subreddit called Beginner Fitness. I am totally out of shape, and I have been trying to get myself back into the gym. Got it. Today is currently day 3. That's big for me. Heck yeah, good for you. A little golf clap is in order. Good for you. The issue I'm running into is with my core. I have no core strength, absolutely 0, to the point I can barely do a sit-up, can hardly plank, anything really. Anything I try, I notice strain in my neck, shoulders, and back because my core lacks the ability to work for itself. Are there any core workouts for absolute beginners starting at ground zero? I need help. So let's talk about the core. A lot of people think that the core is simply here, the abdominals or the rectus abdominis down here. But the core, the purpose of the core is really to support and protect the spine, okay? So that means that it's not just here, it's on the sides, and it's also your low back, okay? So all around the spine is the core. Or as Michael Scott would say,
your back core, your arm core. The Marine Corps actually uses it. I think that's how they got core.
So you have to look at it from that lens. It's not just up front. It's not just sit-ups. It's not just planks. Now, I think planks are actually great, but what you might not know is compound movements, meaning multi-joint movements. The bicep curl is one joint that moves, right? When you do a bench press, a squat, a deadlift, that is multiple joints that are being used. The more joints that you use, the more likely you're going to be using your core. And in all 3 of those movements I just mentioned, bench press, the deadlift, and the squat, they all work the core. So to this person, I would say I would start learning fundamental compound movements rather than isolation movements for your core. Because while a plank is fantastic, if you can't do that, I would focus on the movements that are going to get you more than just the core strength. They're going to get you strength everywhere else. You're getting more bang for your buck. I'd say push-up would be huge. If you can't do the push-up, I get it. Go to your knees. If that's still too difficult, elevate it even more and then go to a wall. Yes, believe it or not, that's gonna create core strength. It's similar to a plank. So if you can't hold a plank, you said you can hardly hold plank, start with 5 seconds and start inching your way up in time. And then honestly, the sit-up is not a superior movement in my eyes. I think the plank would be better, the compound movements would be better, but the push-up alone, that's gonna build your core. It's also gonna be building your chest, your triceps, your shoulders, your back, your legs. There's so much benefit in compound movements. I would highly suggest you do those. I hope that helps you. Next question, can you still gain muscle if you play basketball after a workout? Very specific question, and I like it that it's specific. I've increased a lot of muscle by not doing any cardio. But I've recently started playing pickup games in basketball after my workouts. The cardio is intense, and I'm worried that I'm going to start to lose muscle if I continue doing this. Will I still be able to increase muscle size if I'm still doing intense cardio every other day? So the body is unbelievably adaptable. I'm not worried about this. And unless you're playing like 5 hours afterwards every other day, you're gonna be fine. And this would have to be really, really intense, okay? When you see marathon runners, these people are running a lot. They're not running 5 miles a week. They are running a lot, which is why they have muscles that are smaller. But they don't care about that. They're focusing on running. Basketball is a bit of calisthenics, so you're having to stop and go. There is start and stop. You're elevating the heart rate. Honestly, I think this might even improve your lifting. So what I have found that if you improve your cardio, you're going to be able to go longer while you're lifting. So I think this is only going to benefit it. What are you sleeping like? What are you eating like? How much protein are you getting in? If those things are adequate, you're going to be fine. Okay, you're just going to be in great shape. So don't fear burning up muscle. You're going to be just fine. Calorie counting. Has anyone else noticed that an onion has a lot of calories? I have not noticed that. I wonder what type of onions you're eating. I put a small onion in my calorie counter cooked it in some olive oil, I think we found the culprit, and it came out to be 77 calories. So I don't know how small of an onion this was. I have a 1,600 calorie day limit, so want to get the most out of what I eat and not eat calorie-dense foods. Well, the olive oil is absolutely calorie-dense. Does anyone have any recommendations for foods that aren't calorie-dense that I can prioritize for the day to either snack on or add to meals? All recommendations would be greatly appreciated. Okay, so I just looked it up on the app Lose It that I highly suggest you take a look at, or the app MyFitnessPal, and a half a cup of onions is only 32 calories. So 100% that was the olive oil that bumped that up. So that is totally, I think you totally missed it there. And I hope that you see this, because no, calories are not high in onions. So does anyone have any recommendations for foods that aren't as calorie dense that I can prioritize for the day to either snack on or add to daily meals? Sugar-free Jell-O is a big one. If you get plain popcorn, that's a good one. There's also a lot of fiber in that. That's very satiating. Egg whites is high in protein, and protein is very satiating, and it's fairly low in calories. You can do, honestly, what I would be doing is I would be doing sugar-free beverages. That would be huge. Are you hydrated? What's your sleep like? If those things are in check, that will also help. I would really be leaning on being hydrated, getting these 0-calorie artificial sweeteners in. That's really going to help. And then you can look for those low-calorie options like the ones I gave you. And then also you can just Google that. You're going to get a boatload of low-calorie options. If you can find fruits and vegetables, honestly, if you can find those that are high in water, such as watermelon, typically those are lower in calories. Those are voluminous foods. I hope that answers your question. I hope that helps. If you're looking for fitness plans based in behavior change and science, check down below, because that's exactly what I do. And we go over the nutrition heavily. Okay, I even have a book called The Everyday Nutrition Guide, and in there I actually have specifications for things that might be benefiting you. I have a few sample meal plans. It's all down there in the Everyday Nutrition Guide and in the training that I do. Check it out down below. Thank you to the Mental Fit Mafia and to the patrons. You mean so much to me. You don't have to be perfect at this fitness thing. Just be better than yesterday, every day.